How to prepare for your TEDx day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Happy Friday. I've been doing so many interviews lately that I kind of missed that way of giving you a lot of information and a lot of tips for your TEDx day, for your TEDx talk, for your script, and for everything which basically create a very successful TEDx journey. Put in the comment below where you're watching it from. Happy Friday again. I'm so looking forward to start this because today I'm going to speak about the importance, but also how exactly to prepare for your TEDx day. Because let me tell you what happens. Majority of the time, people focus so much on practicing their speech that in a rush, few days or a few weeks before the TEDx day, they just prepare their outfit very quickly and they basically think that that's it, job done. Actually, I'll tell you why this is so not enough for your day, because what happens is that once you get there, you've got so many glitches and issues and you start stressing so much that instead of getting on stage and fully enjoying it and being full power, you're on the back of your head is like, okay, my microphone is not right, my outfit, something is wrong with this, and then you don't enjoy. And that is always very visible for the audience as you don't give 150% of yourself on stage. So to avoid that, I want to today to dedicate the whole live show of the Red Dot Speaker Star podcast for how to prepare for it for your day. So let me give you a few examples. Men, you guys, you don't pay that much attention on your outfits. I'm gonna go through this very quickly, but usually what happens is that when they clip the mic, for example, there's so much noise after this that it's so difficult that audio is so corrupted that it's just unbelievably bad, and that ruins the whole TEDx talk. For girls, for all of you, gosh, where to start from? Like let me share something from my own one. I was on such high heels on my own TEDx stage that when I get on the Red Dot carpet, it was so slippery that literally I was smiling and meanwhile thinking like, just don't flip, just don't like heads, like go on the floor and like, legs up and embarrass myself massively, only because my shoes were so slippery because of the carpet, and all this was literally like not amazing experience. So let me just tell you what is the two things what I want to speak about. So again, big mistake number one for majority of the TEDx speakers is that they don't prepare for their day. They prepare for their speech, but they don't prepare for their day. Two very, very, very different things. So the number one side, what I want you to think about is the logistic, and the number two side is the mental preparation for your stage. So I'm gonna cover those two, and we're gonna start with the logistics, because logistics is something what literally, and I'm not joking, people completely underestimate the logistics around. So here are 8 elements of the logistics what I want you to go through for your TEDx day and prepare them really diligently. The number one is the microphone. So you need to know what kind of microphone you're going to have. Is it a lapel? Lapel is the one which goes somewhere, is clipped somewhere on your clothes, basically. Headset is the one which goes around your ear, and then it's like a little microphone, almost invisible in front of your mouth, and then hand mic as a microphone. So there are two different variations. The wireless versions of those, like for example the lapel mics, they're now amazing wireless. You never know, but you have to ask your organizers which kind of microphone you're going to get, and I'll tell you why this is so important. So think about this. If it's a wireless one, you're going to clip it somewhere, but you have to have somewhere. And the reason why I'm wearing this today, not only because it's a beautiful dress, but because I wanted to show you different variations. So when you clip it somewhere, it has to be like something what you feel comfortable. It's not gonna hang, the whole clothes. If the fabric is very soft, it's gonna literally change completely the way how you look, literally, because some of those mics are a little bit heavy. Okay, so sometimes you've got the option to hide them, like for example that dress I'm wearing right now. If I'm with that dress on stage, what I usually do is to clip it somewhere so it's kind of hidden, so you don't really see the microphone when you're on stage. But what happens if it's not wireless, it's a cabled one, there will be a cable between that little microphone, and then imagine like cables going around, and they have to go to a device. That device is super heavy. Okay, so put it this way. When you have that device, it needs to go somewhere to be clipped, and you're literally, whatever you're wearing, it has to be able to hold heavy device like that big with a little antenna on the top. Okay, that's usually how they look like. Do apologize, I do have one at home, but at the moment I'm not at home, so I would otherwise show you. So be very careful what you're wearing as outfit, because regardless, men and women, like some of the shirts for men as well, they're so soft fabric that the fabric is gonna literally hang you, and you're gonna feel like you're just about to die because you cannot breathe, right? Because that device needs to go, it needs to be hung somewhere. Okay, obviously if you have long hair, that's great, you're going to cover the device, right? For men, usually men, you're quite good on that one, because you can put that device on your belt and then off you go. But for women, for us, it's kind of like really difficult, because for example with that dress, it would be really difficult to put a device on the back as there is a bow, and I can't put something else. So the moment when you know your microphone, then you're gonna know your outfit. So don't choose your outfit before you know what kind of microphone you've got. It's so important, because again, the experience after this is going to be completely different, but also not just your own experiencing, like how comfortable you're going to feel on stage, but also after this, the audio the audio quality. So you must not ruin the audio, obviously, right? And I'll give you an example. With men, this is so often, it happens so often, but men, you guys, you put the microphone on the jacket instead of the shirt, and what happens is that the moment when you start moving your hands when you speak, the jacket start moving, opening and closing all the time. That produces a lot of background noise for the microphone, and that is not great. Women, what we do often is to put a lot of jewelries on the top, and that is literally like they're hanging, like my earrings right now. They you think that they're silent, but actually they're not. And you have to be like, literally, you have to think about that microphone, how the wire is gonna go around you, and then choose the outfit. And when we're talking about outfit, first you're gonna obviously choose both, like the shape, basically the design of your clothes, and after this you can choose the colors and the fabric. Be very careful with that. I want you not just to stand out with your voice, with your wisdom and what you're saying. I want you to stand out visually, because for example, right now, if I wear something white, I'm going to be completely blended with the white wall behind me. So if I'm right now on TEDx stage, which are usually dark, and I'm wearing this super dark dress at the moment, I'm going to like pretty much half of my body is going to be completely missing because I will blend as well. So be careful with all this. Michael, you're saying great tips are incredible and show preparation is a key. Your experience and knowledge is truly appreciated. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate you as well, and thank you for joining today. Put below where you're watching it from today, as actually I forgot for a second. Do apologize. So the number 3, as I'm waiting for Michael and for all of you to say where you're watching from today. Number 3, what is part of the logistics is makeup and hair. Now think about this. Your video is gonna be, your TEDx talk video is gonna be forever online. This is your digital footprint, okay? So even you're a man, regardless, you know, the colors of your hair, the skin, you know, any kind of shapes, you need to have makeup, and you have to think about your hair. Okay, men for hair are much easier because you just go for haircut and that's it, right? For women it's not that easy because like, for example, my hair has opinion. Whatever I do, my hair has opinion, right? And I can't do much. But makeup for both women and men is so important. Makeup is very, very different on stage. This is not like I'm gonna skip that makeup because I don't need, because I'm a man. That's not the case. Men and women, we all sweat when we've got the projectors on stage. Not only because of all the adrenaline, because we're on stage, because this is TEDx, because this is amazing event, you know, there's a lot of rush there, I can tell you. Okay, but there is the extra sweat because of all the lighting coming to, like, you're on a spotlight, literally. Like imagine yourself for a second on that red carpet on stage, and like all the lights are off and just the projectors are on you. That light produces so much heat, I can tell you that it's unbelievable. And wanting or not, you're gonna start sweating at some point. The makeup rule, like the aim of the makeup is to not show that you're shining and you're sweating. So the makeup is gonna help you to not give that shiny look, because again, think about this, after this, your video, which goes forever on social media and all the platforms, when you look after this, you don't want to think like, oh my god, I was sweating like a pig, right? That you don't want that. You don't want to look you know, at your shiny face and not even listen to what you're saying to yourself, and thinking how all this is just looking is not the right thing, right? Michael is saying, what is ZL? I'm watching from Birmingham. That's amazing. Good morning, good afternoon, Birmingham, actually. Good morning, Ingo. I'm so looking forward to speak with you later on today. I've got a quick session with Ingo later on. So that was about makeup and hair logistics. But again, from a logistic perspective, you have to organize someone to come on the day, do your makeup very quickly, and do your hair if you know, if you're a woman, especially as we women need to do something with our hair. Of course, if you want, but this is part of your logistics. You have to plan this. You know, the 5P, the preparation of the show prepares you from failure or something like this. I don't remember the full 5P, but yes. So number 4 from the logistics is one of my favorites, actually. You need to organize your personal paparazzi. I call it a personal paparazzi. I don't call it a photographer, and I'll tell you why. There will be a professional photographer on the day, but here are TEDx rules, which are written in the TEDx guidelines, in the TEDx rules, and TEDx organizers have to follow those rules, okay? Your own professional photographer, if you decide to hire one, is not going to be allowed to get with you in the hall and shoot any kind of pictures or anything when you're on stage. You have to use the professional photographer hired by the TEDx organizers. Now, with all the photographers, you can think like how many things are going on that day. You might not have as many pictures as you imagine as you want. Like, for example, for me, I had 2 pictures from my TEDx day from the professional photographers because she was super busy. She was an amazing photographer, but I only had 2. Okay. And since then, from my own personal experience, I added that in the 16 questions and my logistics list, as you can see, because once you get a friend of you who is good with camera, then you've got your personal paparazzi person. Right now, another rule what I need you to know is that cameras are not allowed. Cameras as professional cameras are not allowed in the theater, in the TEDx theater, shooting theater. However, mobile phones, that's why I put the emoji of the mobile phone here. Mobile phones are absolutely allowed to be used during your speech when you're on stage. So get someone who is really good with their phone and their camera on the phone, and literally turn that person into personal paparazzi. That person needs to follow you the full day. It's an event, okay? It's a networking event. They should take pictures not only from you on stage from all the possible angles, like up, down, like everywhere, from all the angles, but that person should also take pictures of you speaking with other people as like behind the stage, behind the scene pictures, because all this after this you can create beautiful story how your day was. It's a lot of content for your social media. So be absolutely like prepare that logistically to get that friend of yours. Micah was saying, I'm hoping at some point through my business schedule I do want to connect with you regarding starting a TED Talk. Yes, absolutely, it would be my absolute pleasure, Michael, to help you with your idea, and I can't wait also to hear what is your idea as well. I'm always curious. Number 5 from the logistics, and then I'm gonna go to the other comments coming in. I want you to organize tickets for your friends and family. And I'll tell you, there is a trick here, and I'll tell you the trick. Okay, it's not just the logistic, like, oh, let me buy a few tickets for my friends and families. Okay, I want you to think about the people who feel you uncomfortable. Because if even this is your mom and dad, or like kids, or whoever feels you uncomfortable, do not invite them, do not buy tickets for them, because I don't want you to get on stage and knowing that they're in the audience and knowing what you're going to say in your TEDx talk. Like if you're mentioning them in your TEDx story, hell, ditch them off, like don't invite them because they're going to watch that TEDx talk later on. But I want you to feel comfortable and to have that fun instead of feeling uncomfortable and like, oh my God, how they're going to react. Maybe they don't know what I'm going to say, on my TEDx, and they might not feel well. God knows what's going to be their reaction and all that. So do invite the exact people which are gonna cheer you up, which are gonna be like super happy for you, which are gonna be like there for you, and you're gonna feel hell powerful in front of them as well. I'll give you an example. Like if I need to speak in front of my mom and dad, although they don't speak English, for example, that's gonna be like, if it's in English, I don't care, they don't understand, right? But if it's my own language, my mother language, it's gonna be like really a second thought there, like, do I really want to do that to myself? Okay, let's see what's happening. Ingo is saying, you're such a wealth of information. Always love to learn from you. Thank you so much, Ingo. My absolute pleasure. Vienna, good morning from Milano. Good afternoon, actually. Nice input, and hope to be one of the TEDx speakers too. Yes. TEDx Milan has amazing stage, by the way. I've seen it several times. It's beautiful. By the way, Vienna, I had TEDx Vienna is gonna be in September or October. Don't quote me on that one, But one of the TEDx organizers did contacted me. Actually, the license holder of TEDx Milan did contacted me. So I'm happy to put you through, and and just go for it and apply. I'm happy to give you the contact details. Michael is saying, when do we complete a TED Talk? Do we have an option to choose the location in terms of the city and country? That is a great question. So I'm going to be totally cheeky because I want to concentrate on something else, but I'll tell you what. There is a free mini course which I recorded, and it answers exactly your question. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I will post it in the comments right now. So go ahead and check it out. But yes and yes. So you choose the locations, you choose the city, the country. You can choose completely different country if you want, Michael. Like instead of Birmingham, you can go to US, I don't know, like Thailand, Japan, I don't know. It doesn't matter really. Vienna, you're so welcome. But yes, you have option to choose locations, and this is not related to your residency, basically. You're very welcome, Michael. Okay, so let's go to number 6 from the logistic list. There are eight. Six from the logistic list is to, most probably something you want to do is to create like a goodie bags with your business cards or any kind of merchandising materials. So even you don't have merchandising, for example, just prepare business cards, because that's going to be a networking event. You're going there for a full day. One of the logistics is also in a second talking about that full day networking. But think about how you're going to contact not just the other TEDx speakers, but the whole audience. Because trust me, the moment when the audience start listening to your TEDx talk, they will want to know you. They want to know more of you. They want to contact you and get a piece of you. And that is great when you do it through merchandising. The number 7 is linked to this. I always prepare a QR code from my social media profiles. So what I do for me, my main social media is LinkedIn, and I always have in hand the QR code from my LinkedIn. So people just, I don't have business cards. I'm digital nerd. And I just give my QR code from my phone. People scan it and off they go. Like they have my LinkedIn profile. So that's how I connect with people. So instead of doing business cards or anything paper-wise, and I prefer to save the nature, I just do a QR code. So this is just an idea. And number 8 from the logistic list, before we move to the mentally preparing on the day, is to take a day off. I know it sounds so logical, okay, but organizing work is not always easy. And also, regardless if your TEDx event is evening event or afternoon only or only in the morning, take the full day off. Trust me, because it's such fun. You're going to be super busy the full day. You better just take the full advantage of the full day. And often, I'll tell you what people do often now. People go on stage, they deliver their talk, the whole TEDx days finishes, then they have lunch together with all the speakers and majority of the audiences. And what they do after this, they just go and do a photo shoot somewhere around. It could be, if they can go back on the same stage, they can just do a photo shoot on the same stage, just, like specific pictures. But people do create the full day, like full on day for a lot of social media presence and creating content. So when you prepare all these 8 logistics steps, that's gonna make your day literally stressless. It's gonna be easy going flow, and that is so important. It's just unbelievable for your day. Now I'm gonna move to the second part as time flies. If you've got any kind of questions, just put them in the comments below. I'm gonna answer all of them on the go. So I want to move to the second part, which is the mental preparation on the day, because that is always like majority of the people stress so much, then they just go stressed on the stage, right? And I want to give you a few ideas and examples, and what best practices and really amazing speakers always shares what they do right before their stage. So first of all, I want you to remind yourself the 3 main bullet points from your speech, because regardless how well or how not well you know exactly what you want to say and with the exact words, and you did learn or not learn the script by heart, it doesn't matter. Just before you get on stage, remind the number 1, number 2, number 3, because this is how your brain will be like, number 1 delivered, done, number 2 delivered, done, number 3 delivered, done, right? So just 3 bullet points, that's all you need. The magic number 3 or 5 if you dare to go a little bit longer. Step number 2 is, we call it that in professional speaking, go empty. Go empty means to empty your mind. So instead of rehearsing and like, if you rehearse right before you get on stage, you're going to be super stressful when you get on stage, and you're going to completely forget your speech. Okay. When you go empty, and I'll tell you different exercises how you go empty. What happens is that you're telling your brain that you know what you're speaking. Obviously, you know what you're speaking, right? What you're talking about. By having number 1, 2, and 3 bullet points and then going empty, your brain literally calms down. So when you get on stage, your brain is like, number 1, number 2, number 3, easy going, and it shows that you're not stressing. Okay. So how exactly you can go empty? People dance on their favorite songs, right? Backstage. and that's actually fun, because by dancing they energize their body. So when you've seen these speakers, put a yes or no in the comment. Like some speakers come on stage and they're like fire, absolute fire, like Jesus, where this energy came from. That is because sometimes they dance behind stage. For many years, I was, specifically 2016, 17, and 18, I was stage event managers for a lot of events. And I worked with super famous speakers at that time, and I was a professional speaker. I was on stage as well. But what was happening was, like, it was very interesting to watch all these famous speakers, how they go empty right before they go on stage, and I learned a lot. So I'm giving you those tips. Some of them do dance, and it's really powerful. Some of them do breathing exercises. They just sit down, they ask for a chair, they sit down, and they just close their eyes, they switch off completely, regardless how noisy it is around, and they do a breathing exercise to center their energy and to ground themselves, basically. And that is really helping them, because when they get on stage, they want to be completely chilled, like Zen sage people, basically, right? Some people do tongue twister exercises because they want their, to warm up their mouth. That is also super useful. I have to say, it's not my personal style, but I've seen people, and like it looks really crazy, but it helps a lot, like really a lot. And one of my favorites, people watch something super funny. They have like some kind of jokes and like stand-up comedy, whatever. Like all you need is 1 minute, literally 1 minute to go empty. If you watch something funny right before you go on stage, right, you are in this kind of like super mood and super happy and like super smiley. And when you go on stage, that is visible, and the audience always mirrors you. Okay, if you go on stage miserable, audience is gonna mirror you, and it's gonna be like miserable faces straight away. If you go on stage with like super happiness and like or chilling out and super zen, audience is gonna literally mirror you within like 10-20 seconds. It's that quickly. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Let's just go through the questions. Gail is saying, good morning, Gail from Canada. Absolutely loving it. And Michael is saying, honestly, these tips and advice are truly amazing. Thank you so much, Michael. I absolutely love doing my Friday weekly Red Dot Speaker podcast show. So yes, my absolute pleasure. Okay, so one thing I want to invite you to, as I'm about to wrap up, I'm speaking at the Breakthrough Summit, Breakthrough with Media Summit, which is next week. Next week is going to be hectic, I can tell you. But on Tuesday, I'm on stage with the Breakthrough with Media Summit. I would love to invite you. Let me just put the link on here, because I'll tell you what, this is free, by the way. It's a free entrance, so don't worry about like buying tickets. It's just like reserving your spot, more or less. It's not like it's not going to charge you. It's free. But what's going to happen on stage is that, first of all, I'm going to have a lot of fun, as you know me. I think my slot is 30 minutes. I'm going to do a teaching, a very, very specific teaching about what exactly means TEDx visibility, credibility, and authority. How you, like, what exactly that means, because a lot of people speak about it, but actually they don't understand the full capacity and potential of TEDx when we're talking about visibility. When it's credibility, there are hell a lot of rules which actually limits you, and there is a huge clash. What happens is this: people talk about like, oh yeah, you're going to be like gaining a lot of credibility. When people accept it for TEDx speakers, they go and they read the TEDx guidelines and rules. It's like, I'm not allowed to say so many things. How exactly I'm going to do what I want to do, right? There is a way, and I'm going to speak about that on the summit. And authority. That authority is very interesting, but I'll tell you what, authority, I'll give you a sneak peek. Authority is always given automatically. So when someone becomes a TEDx speaker, people see it as authority straight away. However, people want to gain authority for completely different reasons. And that is what I'm going to cover in the summit, right? Because just saying like, I want people to see me as authority, that's not exactly what you want. I'm going to dive deep in that, like why exactly you want that authority, because there's a lot more behind. And I'm going to totally challenge all of you. So join the summit. It's going to be super, super fun. But also what I like about the summit is that there will be open rooms. So there will be a Q&A open session after this, and there will be open rooms after each day. So I'm gonna be there all 4 days because the rest of the speakers are absolutely brilliant. Honestly, like I'm there with my pen and paper, I can tell you, to learn a lot from like TV presence. I've never been. That is not true. I've been on TV several times, but not on the level what I want, basically. And there's like certain podcasts explanations, and there's also like virtual assistants and how exactly to use virtual assistants services, PR agencies and what to expect from PR agencies, and what is everything which is PR, like traditional, what I call it traditional PR, but what exactly I can gain from my own business. That's going to be really, really interesting. And it's free, and you've got the recording. So if something happens and you cannot join all the sessions, you're going to have the recordings for something like 24, 48 hours. So Michael is saying, would you advise to complete your TED Talk away from your original city? For example, I'm from Birmingham experience. I could do my talk from either Dubai or Thailand. It doesn't matter really. Absolutely doesn't matter, to be honest. But I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen that when foreigners, and I'm going to call it foreigners, apply for TEDx stages somewhere else, organizers find it very exotic, and they kind of put priority to the foreigners, if it makes sense. Put a yes or a no if that made sense. But it's just because, like, for example, with you, you live in UK, so like obviously British English. That's for example for America, that is like exotic, basically. At least that's how usually people find me, like, oh, this is so exotic. It's like, yeah, I've got a accent, I know that. But people see it as something is interesting and different, and yeah. In nowhere, I would like Dubai and Thailand are really good stages as well, but also yeah, makes sense. So that's great, Michael. Thank you. I'll tell you what, TEDx Switzerland is really good. And like the different TEDx's in Switzerland, which are really, really good. And the organizers are amazing as well. So yes, Gail, yes, for you as well. For you, I can absolutely say the same, that if you, my dear, with your amazing bright red hair, honestly, if you don't know Gail, go and contact her, as well as Inga, please, because those two women are fire from Canada, like total fire. Like every time when I speak with Gail, it's like, I'm here. I love you. Absolutely loving you. Gail, you're saying, I may need to look at the world stage. You know what? I'm kind of jealous, actually, because you're so close to TEDx headquarter and TED headquarter. As Vancouver is, once a year, 5 days there. And by the way, the TEDx Fellows is right now open. So you guys, all of you, can go and apply for TEDx Fellow. In that link, how to apply for TED and TEDx, I do give all the links how to apply for TED, for TEDx, for TEDx Fellows, for all of them, basically. Right, so go ahead and do them. I need to go to my crash course session number 4 for 2 amazing ladies. Shout out to Kathleen and to Kin. Kathleen is she lives in London, and Kin lives in where she lives right now, Singapore. So yes, I'm gonna have fun right now. Very international crash course group I'm doing at the moment. So I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of energy. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below and I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna see you next Friday, although it's gonna be like a challenge for me because I'm gonna be still on stage at the Breakthrough with Media Summit, but that's gonna be super, 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 super cool. Coming out of your comfort zone is key, so spread your wings and fly. The world stage sounds amazing. That is a great end to my live today. Thank you all so much for joining today. I'm wishing you an amazing, amazing weekend, and I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of energy. See you next Friday.